Hello, guys and gals, to the AlieNation podcast, or the AlieNation pod. Um, this is a Ben 10 slash alien slash conspiracy theory based podcast centered around those three topics. So I wanted to try something new. For the past like 2 years, uh, I've been really into podcasts. Like nowadays, everybody has their own podcast. But who doesn't have their own podcast centered around them is the Ben 10 franchise and community. So I wanted to try to. I, I like how unsure I am about this. I don't know. Gift this to the Ben 10 community. Is that even a good way to phrase that? I don't know, but. So I have a list of topics that I can go through every week or whenever I feel like doing this. I don't know if this is gonna be a weekly thing or like a bi-weekly thing or once a month, but I have a list of like just many topics that I can talk about. A few here I have are revisiting and reviewing Secretly Omnitrix, Dressed Against Time, Destroy Aliens, Alien Swarm. That's basically just me going back and watching the Ben 10 movies and comparing my reaction of them when I first saw them or basically when I last saw them, to now. Another one of these is a Bentathon. So it's basically an arena battle between Ben 10 characters or Ben 10 aliens from other media. But those are just like two of a list of topics that I have here in front of me. But the regular segments of this will be I have news, like if there's any. Episode reviews and spoilers, I'll do that. The Bensathon I already talked about, and at the end I'll have to cap this whole episode off, or each episode I'll have a alien of the week. I have a little bit of news here. It has something to do with Molestache. Molestache in the Benson reboot. As we all know, Molestache, one of the lame aliens, debuted in the Omniverse episode Outbreak, is now sort of canon in the reboot. I have it up here on the Wikipedia. Molestache is just DNA sample of an unknown species from the unknown planet. Yeah. Okay, so he's in the VR video game Omnicharged, a playable character. Molestache's existence in Reboot continuity was confirmed by Duncan Rowlew, last name that I don't know how to pronounce, who explained on Twitter that all classic continuity aliens exist within the Omnitrix. However, this depiction of Molestache is exclusive to the VR game Ben 10 Omnicharge. Okay, so yeah, that's not really a big news, but uh, good for Molestache. No, that transformation. I don't even know if that's a lot of people's favorite transformation. He kinda grew on me, kind of. But yeah, that's just the news, the quote unquote news of the week. That's the only news I could find. Well, I guess we could look up. We're doing this live. I'm gonna look up if there's any new news on Benson vs. the Universe. Very professional of me to just now be. I'm probably gonna edit this out just to be professional. I mean, because of like everything that's going on, it's probably delayed due to like the virus and stuff. Cause I mean, it was still in production. I don't know how far in production it was or is. I mean, popular series will spend to take on the universe with Ben 10 versus the universe set for a global premiere. Yeah. So no new news. No new news on versus the universe. I'm gonna look up season 5. But speaking of the reboot, I do have an episode I want to talk about. It's the it's the episode Story Time. And I really want to talk about that because I think that there's things in the episode that they didn't really touch on in the original continuity, and that goes aside with why I like the reboot, because they're using it to touch on things that they either couldn't or didn't yet in the original four shows. Oh yeah, so I just switched to talking about that episode because I can't find any new. Side note: if you type in Ben 10 vs. the Universe Season 5, my video is the first result. Look at that. I'm proud of proud of myself. Thank you all for who watched that video, and yeah, just thank you who watched it. And maybe you shared it. Do people even share videos anymore? I don't know, but yeah, thank you for liking and doing all that stuff. Okay, so the episode that I want to talk about was Story Time. I wrote down here in my notes, Grandpa Max feeling as if he needs to prove something himself against X. Yeah, I really like this episode. 141st episode of the reboot. Okay, so I'm just reading this off of the wiki because I didn't have a synopsis in my notes. Very, very professional. So after the rest bucket breaks down, Ben, Gwen, and Grandpa Max find themselves killing time at the local town library, but soon scramble to outmaneuver Hex as he searches for a hidden ancient artifact. So in this episode, we see a lot of not the episode, but like this version of the series is really there's a lot of the Tennysons are doing a lot of magic, and that's kind of I guess that kind of hints towards like their anodite sides, but Grandpa Max is, I don't know the magic system of this particular version. The Tennysons are doing a lot of magic. Like it's being shown that they are capable of doing magic. But also, Kevin did magic in the previous episode, so I guess anybody can do magic. It's not like a mana thing, or well, not mana. Everybody has mana, but like it's not like an anodite thing, or maybe there is Ledger Domain in this universe. We just haven't seen it yet, and we don't know, or like maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's the. Do I really want to make a Star Wars reference? Maybe it's like the Force. Maybe everybody has it, but some people just don't have. Some people will have more Force than others. The midichlorians. Is that canon anymore? I don't know. I have in my notes. I keep going through my notes. In the last episode, Murder on the Run, it lightly sets up Max's why am I? It lightly sets up Max's like why he feels this way. Feels like he's too old, basically. Um, the last episode was a lot of comedy, and this one is as well. But I like this. I like story time. Story time's comedy worked more for me than Mode on the Run. Again, like it's showing different sides to the characters, like Max feeling like he's getting too old and like he can still do things. Uh yeah, Ben at the moment is the superhero of the family. But again, we don't know Max's past at the moment, so maybe he was a plumber or something, and he wants to feel like he isn't, or he wants to feel like he still has it despite his age. I think he's not really that old. I think they said he was like 60 or something. around that. I think they did say he was in the 60s. Another thing that that I really liked about this episode was Ben opening up to the mannequins. And I'm gonna I quoted I went back and I wrote this quote down just because it was so good. It's played for comedy, but like it's a serious moment and it really does develop his character and we get an insight on how he feels, which is something we didn't this is something in particular that we didn't see um Prime Ben um express. So the quote is, I never wanted to admit it, but I really am feeling myself. Maybe it's because I'm scared of showing my feelings. I hide behind so many identities, and the only thing about me that's worth anything is this watch. And I just, like, yeah, it's like he snaps out of it easily. The comedy, but it was just so. I liked. I don't even know if it's subtle or I don't know the word for it, but it's just that certain thing. That's certain kind of I don't even know the word. It's satisfying to see a 10-year-old Ben, besides being arrogant and reckless, it's good to see him reflect on, yeah, it's good to see him reflect on himself and his powers. We did actually see it kind of in the Forge of Creation, where 10-year-old Ben basically says, like, he understands if he messes up, people die, and it's real that because Ben always cracks jokes and stuff, is because he's scared. And I really like them humanizing Ben a lot, just as much as I like him unlocking new aliens. Okay, yeah. So, about a week ago, I asked the question if Ben graduated high school, and I didn't know if I wanted to. I didn't know if I wanted to make it its own video because I wasn't sure if it'd be long enough. But I'm gonna put up here the post. I posted it on the Ben 10 fandom and also on the Ben 10 Amino just to get like a gauge of answers. Alright, did Ben finish high school? So I'm gonna read this post that I made and then the comment. Although Ben has had trouble with his academic studies in school, he's always been the one to figure out how to thwart a villain's plan with ease. People may look to him as if he has absolutely no idea, but the hero surprisingly has had some knowledge up his sleeve and is known to not work up to his full potential when it came to his studies. Ben attended Madison Elementary School as a child and will graduate furthering his academics to high school. We see him struggle through his studies in Alien Force, and in Ultimate Alien we see him returning at the end of the first episode, but never return again. In the Ultimate Alien episode, it's not easy being Gwen. While his cousin is exiting school for the day, Ben is racing down the street as Spider Monkey and informs her on the situation, implying that he either left school early or just didn't go that day at all. Of course, this is his job, and in any circumstance, saving the universe is a lot more important than making sure you got an A in history class. But if any other superhero has taught me anything, it's that juggling their hero and personal sides of their lives is difficult. What made me ask this question was because in the Omniverse episode Malfactor, we see Malware purposefully put a school bus in danger to distract the hero and get away. That scene made me realize two things when coming up with this one. One, that this episode takes place on a weekday. Two, that we hadn't even gotten a reference to Ben's studies since around the early season of Ultimate Alien. You could say because of his heroic duties he's homeschooled, or for that plumbers have classes in their facility to help him keep up with his education, but another question came up when Ben got an honorary degree at the end of Mystery Incorporated. He doesn't need to go to college because of it, and I believe he'd easily use this as an excuse not to return to school and become a full-time superhero as we see him in Omniverse. So basically my question is, after reading this needlessly kind of long post, do you think Ben tends to finish high school? And then after that I put my opinion is that Since we see him traveling from planet to planet in Omniverse, and by the end of that series caused Gwen and Kevin to come along and take a road trip across the universe. No, he didn't finish school. And, like, it just isn't his thing, and it wasn't his thing from the beginning. He learned more from saving the world than sitting in class. So I have a lot of comments here. I am the Jerry says Gwen completed it, but not Ben. That's their opinion. Karthik Kick 10 says I think Ben too completed it and is told by Gwen in the episode. It's not easy being Gwen. She said that she doesn't have a permission to go out of campus. Whereas on the other hand, Ben had the permission to go out of campus if an alien or any kind of threat comes. So I think he may have completed his studies and with underrated marks. I really like this. So he says, that is quite an observation. I agree that Ben didn't finish school. He either was too busy saving the world, and since he got his fame in Ultimate Alien, everybody including the schools knew that Ben was a hero and just pardoned his academics. Or he just didn't care about schools as he already convinced his parents that he was confident that being a four-time hero is a reasonable excuse to skip school. All the other kids across the multiverse and to the Spectre dimension, us in real life, we are unanimous in the fairness and just in Ben's choice for studying. But having the universe on his shoulders is unbelievably stressful. Ben 23 even became a star, and you'd have known if he needed to go to school when he made his debut. The whole Ben 10 kid superhero, or even other stories in universe like every Spider-Man and the Flash, are created just for us teenagers or kids to feel related and admire them. And if we be real, the creators wouldn't be able to answer our doubts, like his responsibilities in future career. Well, being a hero is an excuse to skip school. Well, not for learning. Ben would have had the interest to learn in the future, seeing Ben 10,000 exceptional intellect, tactical mind, and leadership skills. We would know that Ben will receive education when the universe is not in as much threat as an encouraging invasion. Romero Brandon says, and he quotes one of the creators saying, Ben still goes to school in Omniverse, but not much. He can get an excused absence very easily, and his assistance to the plumbers counts as work study. So I also posted this same question on Benton Amino. Why do that? Why comment on my profile just, hey, what do you want from me? Just F, leader on the Benton Amino, says, as someone who works in alumni, honorary degrees don't work like normal ones. He still need one for a job. There's basically all the opinions. Honey just says, well, multiple times during the series we're told that Ben is really smart and has a photographic memory. So thinking that maybe he just took high school really seriously and just finished early. And those are all the responses that I got. And again, in my opinion, I just don't think that school is for Ben. And he kind of he took the honorary degree and just left. Put school behind him. But, feel free to let me know your opinions in the comments. So the next topic that I wanted to talk about. So the next thing I want to talk about was the Omni Kix armor. I did a video on this when I explained the Reboot Omnitrix and all the forms it took from Season 1 to Season 4. There's a second crash along with the Omnitrix. It was a key, and when placed inside the Omnitrix, that key unlocked an upgrade that armored up Ben's alien forms and gave them extra boosts in power. Here's the thing with the Omni Kix. I like it. I really do, as a concept and stuff, and I like that Humongosaur, as we see, has an extra ability. He can shoot like a blast from his mouth, like from similar to Godzilla. He can shoot a blast from his mouth. He has to, store energy in the spike on his back and then shoot it out. Forearms has like about rocket fists. He can shoot his fist off and they come back to him. Accelerate is a lot faster. Heat Blast. I read somewhere that it allows him to fly, but I guess we haven't seen that yet. Not all of his forms. It seems like not all of his forms have like different abilities from their base form. Diamond Head is pretty much the same, although he can like move between his diamonds in a way. Slapback, I think that's, I don't even know if there really is a boost in power for him. I think it's just protective armor, because I don't know what you can add on to that. Wrath, I haven't really seen Wrath yet, but it's just more like, again, armor, and 2 more claws than he already has. We haven't seen Jet Ray. Cannonbolt is still Cannonbolt, again with armor, and the same goes for Shockrock. Again, I like the Omni Kix armor. I just don't know how some of these forms differentiate from their original state. And that's all I gotta say about that. Alright, so the alien of the week is Ghost Freak. I put it in a random list randomizer generator thing. So even though we already know who Ghost Freak is, let's read some trivia about him on the Ben 10 Wiki. Ghost Freak is the unrestricted DNA sample of an ectonorite from planet Erna Phaetos in the Anar system. His abilities consist of flight, deformation, density shifting, smoke-like form, intangibility infusion, invisibility infusion, space survivability, tentacles, body possession, movable eyes. Everybody has movable eyes. Sharp claws, enhanced strength, enhanced durability, mana absorption immunity. He doesn't have mana. He doesn't have a body, therefore he doesn't have mana. In his true form, he can rotate his skull. That's not an ability. Sharp teeth, telekinesis, energy beams, and aerial combat. In the original series and Omniverse, Steve Bloom voiced him, and in Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, it was Jeff Bennett. Here's some trivia. I like how I'm just reading this off of it. Ghost Freak is one of the only 5 aliens to escape from the original Omnitrix, others including Chromestone, Spider-Bug and Goop, and Waybit. Ghost Freak is the first alien form that has managed to repress Ben's personality. Eon followed this trend prior to being retconned. In the intro for the first 2 seasons of the original series, Ghost Freak's eye is red instead of purple. It is also worth noting that after season 2, when the Disguise successfully escapes from the Omnitrix, thus removing Ghost Freak from it, he was replaced with Cannonball in the intro for the 3rd and 4th season. So there you have it. Alien of the Week, Ghost Freak. This was fun, wasn't it? Ghost Freak name is a combination of words referring his... yeah. But, yeah. This was fun, right? You enjoyed this, right? Please say yes. So that was pretty much it. I promise if I do another one of these, it will be better. It will be better. This is more of a test. What I could do. Like, what I could get out of it. This was very unprofessional. So unprofessional. But, thank you for watching or listening. Just being here, you know? Thank you. It's, but seriously though. Yeah. New videos every week. So, you know, stop by. Say hi. I don't know how to end this, but yeah. I'll see you when I see you.